What's up YouTube, Capital G here. Got a really spicy duel for you guys to check out. This is one that features an amazing play that is highly situational, but if you can pull it off, it's absolutely glorious. Now, you know the duel is going to be spicy because we're playing Gimmick puppets down here at the bottom. I don't care what anyone says, man, this archetype, the artwork of these cards freaks me the fuck out, especially because it's so close to Halloween. Well, I don't know, maybe by the time you guys see this, it'll actually be after Halloween, but if you look at the Gimmick puppets, man, they're just so damn creepy. I've always thought that this archetype was a little unsettling, but it is really good for not just drawing cards because you can run things like trade-in and allure. This guy right here, the Magnet Doll, is a level 8 and it's dark, and you know these monsters are dark so you can allure them away, but these are obviously an archetype that are really good for Xyz summoning, and you're going to see a lot of Xyz summoning. Now, Blue Eyes White Dragon is actually the perfect opponent for this deck to try and work against and do its really flashy and just kind of convoluted play, and I'll explain that play when it's about to happen. It's only going to be this duel is only going to last like 1 or 2 turns, so that's how amazing the play is. Once you pull it off, it's a wrap for your opponent. So he's playing the Chaos Max version. Not really known for stunny type fields, but it is known to put a bunch of big dragons out on the field turn 1. He is going to use Chaos Form, get that Chaos Max on field. In the end phase, Ancients is going to get him another Spirit Dragon. So you can see right here, he has a pretty damn powerful board with 3 big dragons. And I guess his one piece of, I don't want to say interruption, but interaction with his opponent is Link Karibo. In case his opponent tries to attack over one of those monsters, Link Karibo can step in and basically say, nah, bro, you got to try to come after me first, etc., etc. So let's see exactly what Gimmick puppets are going to do. He is first probably just going to draw some cards with Allure and Trade-In, trying to fix his hand, goes for Red Resonator, and then he actually is going to summon the Humpty Dumpty. Oh my god, still another weird looking card. And when he summons the Magnet Doll from his hand, this is the opportunity for him to activate Infernal Reckless Summon. Now, unfortunately, and every time that I commentate one of these duels where someone uses Infernal Reckless Summon, it's always against Cyber Dragons or Blue Eyes, so he ends up getting kind of screwed here. His opponent gets 2 Blue Eyes White Dragon. Now he's going to go for Needle Fiber, gets the Blackwing Steam the Cloak, and he activates his effect, or he activates the spell card Cattle Call. This allows him to summon one of his big Raid Raptors from his extra deck. Now, the thing about this card is, it really is not that powerful because it doesn't have its effects. I believe it can attack, and it would, you know, basically only last until this turn. However, you can use that monster to rank up. So that's what he's actually going to do. Activates that Revolution Force. And this is the cool thing about a lot of these Raid Raptor monsters. When they actually go to the graveyard, they float into other Raid Raptor Xyz monsters. So that's actually pretty cool. So you can see Arsenal Falcon goes into Borload. Arsenal Falcon actually gets him another monster, which is his Stranger Falcon. And then he's going to go ahead and Xyz summon for the number 38 Titanic Galaxy. And at first I was like, okay, he definitely made a powerful board. He's got 2 3,000 attack dragons. So this is like a dragon showdown of 3,000 attack beaters on the field. Maybe he'll try to snatch steal his opponent's Chaos Max. But then I was like, wait a minute, he clogged up his link points. No, that's not actually what he's going to do here. See, the one thing about all of these Raid Raptor Xyz monsters is they basically are, well, none of them are hard once per turns. So you can actually crash them into your opponent's bigger monsters and they'll float into other Raid Raptor monsters. Sometimes they'll float into ones from the graveyard. Sometimes they'll end up ranking up in the other monsters from your opponent's extra deck. And I want you guys to, kind of see exactly what I'm talking about here. So Steam the Cloak is going to force out the Link Karibo. He did need to do that to try to make sure that this play actually stuck because Link Karibo would have been a serious problem. But he's actually going to take a Stranger Falcon and he's going to crash into his opponent's White Spirit Dragon. And he does eat 500 battle damage. But check this out. I had no idea that Titanic Galaxy actually had this effect. This guy says if a face-up Xyz monster or monsters you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, which just happened, one was destroyed by battle, you can target one face-up Xyz monster you control. This case, it's going to be the number 38 itself. It gains attack equal to one of those destroyed monsters' original attack. So at first you're like, wait, why would you crash your little monster into your opponent's big monster? Cap, what exactly is the point? It's because each time you do that, you're actually giving your Titanic Galaxy more attack. And as I told you guys before, these Raid Raptor Xyz monsters, they basically float into other ones. And this is not a hard once per turn on any of these effects. This is why this actually works. So you can just keep crashing into your opponent's big blue eyes white dragon. And look at this guy's attack just continue to grow. He's at 9,500. Now he's going to be 12,000. And eventually, now you are taking damage while this happens, but it's honestly not going to matter, because once this guy gets about to 18,000 attack, you just one-shot your opponent no matter what monster they actually have on their side of the field. This is not an infinite loop because you will run out of targets, and also you obviously will run out of life points, but you can see right here, his Titanic Galaxy is over 18,000 attack. So you tell me what's going to survive that, especially when your opponent has a full field of monsters for you to attack into. As soon as he was able to get that Link Karibo off the field, it was pretty much just a wrap. He just kamikaze dive bombered his opponent, and that was just the end of the duel. So I'll pause for one quick second, and I'll show you guys what this deck looks like. But keep in mind, this is super situational because your opponent has to have a really big monster on field. Although, could you do this with Grinder Golem? I just thought about that. Yeah, this might be a Grinder Golem deck too. Alright, so this is what the deck looks like on paper, and as you can see, this does, in my opinion, definitely qualify as a Gimmick Puppet deck. There are so many Gimmick Puppets in here. A lot of them are level 8s, and you know, the archetype is dark, so that's where the trade-ins and the Allure Darknesses and stuff like that comes in. You guys saw Cattle Call that was used in a duel. I did forget to mention that Cattle Call can only be used on a Beast, Beast Warrior, or Wing Beast monster, so that's why Steam the Cloak was used. And since Steam the Cloak can be summoned off a Needle Fiber, it just kind of makes sense, especially because, you know, Red Resonator is a card that works really well in these combo decks. It lets you unload your hand, and it gets you to like Crystron Needle Fiber like pretty consistently. You guys saw the rank up use the rank up magic Revolution Force. I wonder if you could substitute that for other rank ups. I'm pretty sure that there are other rank ups that, because I mean, Raid Raptors have like so many different rank ups that they have. I mean, it's a quick play. I don't really think that that's that relevant here. We got Red Reboot, and Called by the Grave, basically to stop hand traps and to stop, well, regular traps as well. Because you saw once this deck basically goes off, it's a wrap for your opponent unless they do something to interrupt the battle phase. And look at this extra deck, just so many Xyz monsters. These are the cards that basically like float into each other. And of course, you do need the Titanic Galaxy. I guess you could actually go for, I don't know, maybe if you feel like the OTK isn't going to work, but you're playing against a deck like True Draco, I guess you could go for Ultimate Falcon. And it would be, you know, kind of how like people summon Ultimate Falcon off of what's that damn card, Waking the Dragons, and you know, like certain decks just can't kill Ultimate Falcon. So I guess it's like an alternate win condition there. Use it off or summon it off of well, summon one of these monsters off Cattle Call and then rank it up in the Ultimate Falcon. So I guess that's why that's in there. But I don't know, it's just a nice little neat deck. This is obviously not competitive, but something that you could just fuck around with at locals or on Dueling Book or, you know, YGO Pro or something like that.